Here's the fundamental paradox that nobody talks about. To get AI to produce genuinely good writing, you must already possess the discernment of a good writer. You need to recognize quality when you see it, understand what makes prose compelling, and know how to evaluate whether what's been generated actually serves your purpose. Without this foundation, you're essentially making or asking a tool to compensate for skills you haven't developed, and that rarely ends well. Well, I'm making this video because I've identified something deceptively simple, almost embarrassingly obvious, yet profoundly valuable once you internalize it. And let's start with the basic framework of any work. So you've got input, got your process, and then you have your output. And this isn't revolutionary, but here's where most people go wrong regarding AI. I mean, yes, AI was engineered for computational speed and massive output volume. That's its evolutionary advantage. But we've made a critical error in thinking about input the same way we think about output. We've assumed that because the machine can generate quickly, our engagement with it should also be rapid, casual, almost thoughtless. This is a mistake, and I'd like to repeat that. We've assumed that because the machine can generate quickly, our engagement with it should also be rapid, casual, and almost thoughtless. I observe this pattern constantly, this relaxed, almost careless approach to AI interaction. I call it input lethargy. It's the difference between typing, write something about productivity, and crafting a precise, contextualized prompt that defines audience, tone, purpose, and constraints. Most would simply call this bad prompting. But that diagnostic is too shallow. It misses the underlying problem. This video isn't about prompt engineering, tactics, or technical frameworks. Instead, I want to examine three interconnected principles that determine whether your AI usage elevates your work or diminishes it. It's focus, deliberation, and single-mindedness of goal. Despite the explosion of AI-generated content, the market still fundamentally rewards quality. The recent flood of AI slop, that's what people are calling it now, proves this point perfectly. We're drowning in more content, but we're starving for good content. The difference matters. The difference has always mattered. So here's what I'm proposing. Deliberately slow down your AI workflow. This might sound counterintuitive. Why would you intentionally negate the speed advantage? Because speed without direction is just chaos with momentum. You need to have a direction. Right now, thousands of entrepreneurs and content creators are selling you the dream of agentic AI that runs autonomously, creating bulk output while you sleep. They promise liberation through automation, but what they're actually delivering is volume without value, the digital equivalent of empty calories. I want to redirect your attention to what has always made humans exceptional at anything. Sustained focus and deliberate practice. These aren't antiquated virtues rendered obsolete by technology. They're just the very qualities that determine whether technology amplifies your capabilities or replaces your judgment. Before you write any prompt, before you open any AI tool, pause. Ask yourself three essential questions, and this is the crux of this particular video. Number one, why am I using this tool right now? Not in general, specifically in this moment for this task. Is it because the tool genuinely serves your objective, or because reaching for AI has become your default response to any creative challenge? Second, what do I actually want from this interaction? And I mean truly want, not just the surface level answer. Are you seeking inspiration to develop further, a framework to build upon, a complete solution? The clarity of your intention shapes everything that follows. Third, and most importantly, what is the highest possible outcome here? Not the adequate outcome, not the good enough outcome. What would excellence look like? If this AI assisted work was the best version of what you're capable of producing, what would distinguish it? In other words, what makes you stand out, or what makes this particular piece of work stand out? These questions aren't bureaucratic hurdles, they're the difference between using AI as a crutch that atrophies your skills and using it as a lever that amplifies it. They transform AI from a replacement for thinking into a tool that enhances thinking, deliberation of work. The irony, in my opinion, is complete. The technology designed for speed demands that we slow down. The tool built for volume requires that we prioritize quality. And the system that can generate infinite variations only becomes valuable when we know exactly what it is that we're looking for. That's the insight that I wanted to share. Thank you for taking the time out and watching this video.